Hire someone in Belgium, and of every €100 the job costs, 52.50 goes to the state. That's a tax wedge of 52.5%, the heaviest tax on work in the developed world. More than half of what a job costs never becomes pay. This is the map of the missing paycheck. Now, the measure. The tax wedge is the gap between what your job costs your employer and what lands in your account. Income tax, your contributions, your employers, counted once. Across the OECD's 38 member countries, it averages 35.1%, the highest since 2018. This map climbs toward the record. We start at number 10, Spain, where the wedge takes 41.4%. €4 in every 10 a Spanish job costs never reach the worker. Most of it drains into one of Europe's most generous pension systems, and Spain is only the doorway. Number 9, Finland, at 42.5%. Here the wedge buys the famous Nordic package: free schools, free universities, a safety net with few holes in it. Finns grumble about the bill and pay it anyway, but now the list gets absurdly tight. Because number 8, Estonia, sits at 42.6%, 1/10 of a point above Finland. Slovakia takes number 7 at 42.7, 3 countries separated by 1/5 of a point. And Estonia is the one moving. It raised its flat income tax from 20 to 22% in 2025, the OECD's second biggest jump. Number 6, Slovenia, at 45.3%. Here, the state's share stops looking like a slice and starts looking like the loaf. Just 6 countries sit above the 45 line. Slovenia is the smallest of them, and the other 5 are exactly where this list is heading. But first, the floor. In Colombia, the measured wedge on the average worker reads 0%. Not a typo, 0. The average earner there pays no income tax, and pension and health payments count as savings, not tax. Bogota still runs hospitals. The money travels under another name. Next door, Chile measures 7.5%. And the low club isn't only emerging economies. Switzerland, banks, trains, watches, takes just 23%, barely 2/3 of the OECD average. The trick is what's missing. Swiss law makes you buy health insurance privately, from take-home pay. The state takes less and hands you the bill instead. The United States plays a similar game at 30%, below the rich world average. Then the second bill arrives. The average employer family health plan now costs $26,993 a year, and workers pay $6,850 of it from taxed wages. America doesn't skip the wedge, it splits it in 2. Meanwhile, Denmark, the world's most famous taxman, measures a modest 35.8%, barely above average. The secret is plumbing. Danes pay almost no social contributions. Nearly everything arrives as plain income tax, and this measure counts both. The reputation is loud, the wedge is mid-table. Back to the countdown. Number 5, Italy, at 45.8%, and, unusually, falling. Its wedge dropped more than a full point in a year, one of just 11 declines in the OECD. What remains feeds one of the world's biggest pension bills. In Italy, the past collects a payroll tax. Number 4, Austria, at 47.1%. Vienna even scrapped its climate bonus, a yearly cash payout to residents, and the wedge ticked up as the money disappeared. What's left buys one of Europe's densest safety nets. Cradle, career, and clinic, all itemized on the payslip. Number 3, France, at 47.2%, built mostly on the employer's side of the ledger. French firms pay some of the heaviest social charges anywhere, and the state runs the umbrella in exchange. Clinics, creches, pensions, 5 weeks of paid holiday. In France, the price is old news. The argument is whether the umbrella still opens. Number 2, Germany, at 49.3% and climbing fast. Higher health and long-term care contributions pushed the German wedge up 13 points in 2025, the third biggest rise in the OECD. Nearly half of what a German job costs is now gone before payday. Only one country stands above it. Belgium, 52.5%, the highest tax wedge on earth. Of every euro an employer spends on the average worker, less than half arrives as pay. Income tax and employer contributions do most of the taking, nearly 4/5 of the wedge between them. No other country taxes work this hard. That is the whole record in one payslip. So what does it feel like? A Belgian on the average wage keeps 60.5% of gross pay, the lowest take-home share in the OECD. But pay in Belgium is indexed to inflation by law. In January 2025, over 500,000 private sector workers got an automatic 3.58% raise. The raise is automatic, so is the wedge beside it. Now, the one mercy in the numbers. When the average worker has 2 children, almost every wedge shrinks. Across the OECD, the family wedge averages 26.2%, nearly 9 points lighter than the singles. Belgium's falls by more than 15 points once children arrive. The single worker carries the record. Families get a rebate. So, the whole board, one last time. 8 hours of work carries a state's ambitions, from nothing at all in Colombia to more than half in Belgium. Nobody here is cheating. They're answering one question differently. What should a paycheck carry besides its earner? Belgium answers loudest. Yours arrives every payday, in the line between gross and net. Next time, the most expensive places on earth, ranked.